Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Moving on to this next image.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it? Why don't you talk about, describe what, so people who's listening, for people who are listening, what can they imagine? Like,
yes. This one, perfect. Your lead is perfect in this case. So here you see a little bit more color coming up. Not too much, not crazy, but
I like it.
pinks and greens. And I wanted to give the other case scenario, not the city, the landscape, no? And going back to the book, in this book, I put a few stories about travels or adventures that I had across Asia over the 15 years that I've been here. And I took those photos that we were talking about before. And then I wrote a little story, a little adventure that kind of inspired the piece. So in that book is I call it Colors of Asia, Paintings by Francesco Lietti, published by Goff Books. And there's a series of paintings that have these stories to go with and some photos as well.
Sure.
And this is one. So basically, in this case, it could be different stories. I could tell you a couple of stories about this one. It doesn't need to be exactly that one or that one. But basically is my research of the quintessential Southeast Asia landscape.
Okay.
I am in love. Maybe I saw some movies when I was a kid. I don't know.
Right.
I cannot tell you why. But I love this sweaty, green, lush green palm trees, water buffalo environment.
Okay, so essentially, it's the format I have here is a square format.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, it's an image of a painting, and it's very kind of the perspective is quite flat, right? And so the hills are very rounded, very buxom, very but the hills are all given different colors. Have you been to the Philippines?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen the Chocolate Hills? Yeah, there you go. So if you've been to the Chocolate Hills,
this could be one adventure option that you can pick. You can pick a Bali adventure or another Mindoro, adventure.
Yeah. So you make the connection, and so it's kind of interesting that the hills themselves. It's in terms of your choice, the hills themselves are non-built, but wherever there is like a horizon of a road is where you see a kind of a man-made imprint, either a building or like I think it's like a temple shack or so. Okay, so lots of color, but it's not like vomit on the street where there's just you look inside and there's all this color. It's like ugh. It's not like that at all. It's really quite bright and playful. So people tend to kind of shy away from that playfulness that color can do, because in a way you can get it wrong, right? Because it can look like a little bit like a kaleidoscope or whatever. So you clearly have a sense of what you're doing. Like you obviously know what you're doing. One thing I connect to in both just these two paintings is you have in the sky these floating squares, buildings, whatever. Have you thought about it? What's of course you've thought about it, but
I've thought about many times.
No, of course.
Coming up with any.
Oh, you don't know? It's unconscious. Like why you make that choice, or?
The colors. To be honest, that one I haven't really figured out yet.
Okay,
I think it could be anything. It could be anything that you want. It could be a thought. It could be a cloud. It could be a reflection. It could be anything. But I don't have a clear answer for you on this one. This is quite. It's subconscious.
You don't need it.
Good. I feel good. I don't need it. The flatness, you mentioned the flatness. I thought about that one a few times. I think I came up with the idea. And as an architect, we draw in plan, elevation, and section.
Right.
So it's actually always, okay, you can have a 3D tool nowadays.
Sure.
Fair enough. But generally, it's quite flat. We study the perspective, maybe because it's so complicated, we don't want to go there. And so maybe when I draw the building, I do an elevation exercise in my head.
Right.
And then through the collaging and the layering, I then give the depth to the building. Yeah. So it's kind of counterintuitive the way that I try to give depth. The complexity is, I think I try to squeeze in all memories and details. So there's a lot of stuff going on. It's dense and I want to give the energy. So you have every little scene could be cut out in a smaller painting on itself in a way. If you have good eyes, you could try to see me on my bike in the painting. Well, you're pretty good, actually. First shot, never happened.
Sorry.
So that's me, because it could be me driving, through the chocolate hills. I wrote a little story on that one. Or in Bali, when I got lost, try to get to Ubud.
Oh, nice.
Or in Mindoro, another amazing adventure. So yeah, it's me going and exploring Southeast Asia, trying to find the perfect, pristine Southeast Asian landscape.
Is the composition, the original painting, this format? Is the image, or is it bigger or is it square, or
this painting?
This
is an 80-80.
80 centimeters?
80 centimeters. So basically it would be like a square of the painting that you see on the wall.
Okay.
The one that you saw before, it was also 80-80.
Okay, got it.
This painting on the wall, this is about Laos, but it's a little bit the same logic. So this is a place, it's called Van Vieng, down in Laos, where there's a river and So that's another story behind that one. And then, again, another Southeast Asian
That's wicked.
Cityscape.
Sorry,
landscape.
No, it's words. Who cares? I love it. Let's go to the next one. So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.